I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly do so. It will really mean a lot to me, for that is the encouragement I get in putting up all these lovely videos. Okay, in this tutorial we are going to learn how I make this beautiful lovely corset top. If you've not watched the pattern drafting, it's on the link on the description box below. Just go and watch it so that you can come and join us on the sewing proper. You have a lot of things to learn. All you have to do is to watch till the end. You will learn how you can determine the size of cup you are going to use, how you can be able to fix your loop and lace, how you can be able to join your cup properly. So this video is very much details. All you have to do is to watch till the end. And if you have any question at all, drop it on the comment section. I will attend to that. Alright, let's get started. So guys, welcome to the sewing tutorial of our beautiful corset pattern. So if you did not watch our pattern drafting on this corset, kindly go and watch it. So this is the beautiful trace out for this our corset. So I trace this out because we don't need the back. I traced only this. Okay, so we will be working with our pattern. We are done with this. Okay, so I'm going to save this for another purpose. We are using this. So this is the beautiful pattern we will be working with. My cup. Okay, so you can see how I notched the center front, the bust point, the side front, where is the up and the upper part. So do the same thing for your own, because this will really help you in putting up these pieces together. Okay, so we are going to cut this two piece, that is for the main bodice. After cutting the two piece, you cut another two piece for the lining. So automatically you are cutting 4 piece for this and 4 piece for this, for both lining and main bodies. Okay, so you are going to cut this on fold. If you want to put a boning at the center, that means you are going to slit this. Okay, then for me, I think I will also put a boning at the center. So I forgot to add seam allowance, so I'm going to add that on my fabric. So I'm going to cut this 2 piece because I don't want to cut this on fold. So I'm going to cut this 2 piece, then 2 piece for the main bodies. Then I'm going to cut another 2 piece for the lining. So automatically I'm going to cut this 4 piece for my main bodies and lining. Then I'll also cut this 4 piece for main bodies and lining. Then I'll also cut this 4 piece for main body and lining. If you don't understand anything I explain here, drop your question on the comment section. I'll attend to that. And these are the materials you need. These are the materials you need in order to put up this corset. You need an interfacing. This is stay. Okay, you are going to use iron to place it on your main material and your lining. This is boning. This is a sewable boning, and this is a non-sewable boning. So we are going to use either of them. So anyone you have, it's okay. Okay, so the brack up, we are also going to use a brack up, and this is the material I'm going to work with. Okay, yeah, so let's get. So guys, I have cut out my materials. Okay, because I want to put a boning at the center, I added 1/2 inch seam allowance. That is the only place I didn't add allowance while I traced on my pattern. Okay, so and I have cut 4 piece each because I'm using the same material for the main bodies and also for the lining. So if you are using different materials for the lining and main bodies, that means you are cutting 2 each for the main bodies and 2 each for the lining. Did you understand that? All right, so I am going to, and you can see I also notched the upper part. I notched the bust point. This will really make the sewing easy for me. It will help me to know where I am joining each other to. Okay, so I'm going to proceed to set it now. Okay, so this will go like this. Just take your time and set this. Okay, so this is for my lining. I'll put it apart, then I'll also set my main bodies. So I will set it and we'll continue. Okay, so you can see I have set it. Okay, I have set my fabric. So go ahead and set your own this way. Okay, so this is the pattern I used to cut all this. Go ahead and set your own this way to avoid any mistake and pin it. Okay, so I'm going to pin it up and go to my sewing machine and sew each of them. So you can see the bust points I notched. I'm going to pin it there like so. I'll also, so you can see how I am pinning it. So I will show you guys how I am going to pin it. Then I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it down. So I have pinned this. I'll go to my sewing machine. I will sew it down. So I will also pin this. This is the center front. I will also pin it. So I will basically pin them like so. So after pinning them, I will go to my sewing machine and I will sew it down. So you can see what I'm doing. So gently do your own the same way. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. I hope you are getting it. Pin it down. If you don't understand any part, drop your comment. Drop your question on the comment section. Okay, I will attend to that. So you can see I have pinned this down. So I'll go to my sewing machine and run a stitch on these places I pinned down. Okay, I will do the same thing on others, then I'll come back to show you guys. All right, so guys, I have joined this together and you can see I have also ironed it. Okay, you see how I opened the seam and I ironed it. I also ironed the cups. So I also did the same thing to my line. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is to use this fabric to cover our bra cup. So for you to be able to know the size of bra cup you are going to work with, just minus 2 inches from your bust circumference. That's the cup size you are going to buy. For me, it works very perfect for me. My bust circumference is 36, then I minus 2 inches from 36, I have 34. So the bra cup I'm actually working with is 34. and this is really working very well for me, because if I actually get size 36 of bra cup, it will end up being bigger than my material, than the material I'm working with, the cup. Okay, so that is that. So we are going to proceed to cover our cup with this fabric. Okay, so you can see this really works perfectly for me. So I'll proceed to use my fabric to cover my bra cup. Okay, so that is actually what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to pin it down, cover it very well, pin it down. So if you want to know how you are going to cover this perfectly, just locate the center of your bra cup and make sure that this seam aligns with the center of your bra cup. Then you are going to pin it down very much perfectly, and you are going to go to your sewing machine and sew it. So guys, I have covered this. Let me quickly show you guys how you are going to cover this. Simply locate the center line of your bra cup, mark it, and you locate the center line of your material, match both center lines together, and you are going to pin it down there and adjust the rest. Okay, so you can see how both material and bra cup fits. So I'll go to my sewing machine and I will sew the bra cup with the material together. So guys, I have gone to my sewing machine and I have sewn the fabric with the bra cup. So I've basically used the fabric to cover the bra cup, and this is really looking very beautiful. So the next thing we are going to do now is to insert the bra cup to our bodice. So you are simply going to locate the center line, this line, okay? Then we are going to mash it up with this line here, okay? So we're going to do that right away. Make sure that both lines are aligned. Pin that up. Then you mash this one up with this. Also pin it up. Then once you mash it, you adjust the rest and you pin them down. Okay? Then you also match these points to this point. So I hope you understand our techniques. Okay? So once you match that up, you pin it up, then you adjust the rest. Okay? You adjust the rest of the fabric, then you pin them up. Okay? So once you pin them up, this is how beautiful it's going to look. You can see it aligns. So I'll go to my sewing machine, I will sew it. So I will do the same thing for the other side. I'll also do the same thing for the lining. Okay, for the lining I'm going to mash it up and I will sew it round. Then I will come back to show you guys the next thing to do. Guys, I've gone ahead to join the cup, and this is how beautiful it's looking. I've also done the same thing to the lining. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my boning, then I'll fix my boning on my lining. Okay, so this is how I'm going to fix. You can see I'm going to fix it like this. I'll go to my sewing machine, I will sew it. Okay, I will do this, I will do the same thing here. I will sew it down. I will also sew it down like this. So you are actually sewing at the edge of this boning, because this is sewable boning. go to my sewing machine and do that. Then after that, I'm going to grab my back bodice. This is my back bodice, okay? So like I'm saying, we are using loop and lace, so I only need my back bodice, okay? So after that, what I'm going to do is to join my back bodice, okay, like so. So after joining my body, I'll also join my back bodice to the center front like this, okay. Then I'll sew it down, then I'll come back to show you guys what next. Guys, are you feeling this corset? For me, I'm feeling it already. So I've gone ahead to put my bunny, so you can see that, and I've also joined the side back to my center front. You can see that I've done the same thing to the front. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to use my lining to turn the main bodice. So I'm going to pin it up right side facing each other, okay? So I'm going to pin it up like that. I'll make sure that each point matches, okay? Then after pinning it up, I'll sew it, then I'll come back to show you guys what next. I have used the lining to turn the main bodice. So the next thing I'm going to do is to notch it. So I'm going to notch it all around. After notching it, I'm going to turn it out like that, okay? Okay, so this is what we have, guys. Are you feeling it? So the next thing I'm going to do before finishing this up is to create my loop, okay? So I'm going to use this bias. This bias is going to serve as my loop, okay? So what I'm going to do basically is that I'm going to go to my sewing machine. I will fold this bias like this, and I will sew it down till I get enough that will be enough for my loop, okay? So I will do that, and I will come back to show you guys how to fix this loop. So guys, I had to use contrasting colors so that you can see how I was able to sew the bias. So I'm going to cut this out 2.5 inches, okay? That will be the length of the loop I'm fixing. I'm going to cut out 2.5 inches. Then I'll cut out like 2 so that I can show you guys. So what I'm actually cutting out is 2.5 inches length. So we are going to fold it like this, and since I've done the upper part, so the loop is going to start at the upper part. So we are fixing the loop on your main bodice like this, okay? So I'm going to use my pen to hold it down. Then I will give a space of about 1 inch, okay? So I'll give a space of about 1 inch. So this is actually where I'm fixing this loop, okay? So from the hemline, I'm coming up by 1 inch. That's where my loop is going to start, okay? So you can see as I'm marking this 1 inch. So these places I mark, that is where I'm going to proceed to fix my loop, okay? I'll do it to this side, and I'll also do it to the other side. Then I'll come back to show you guys what's next, okay? if you don't understand any part in this sewing, drop your questions in the comment section and I will attend to that. So this is actually how my loop is going to look like after fixing it. Okay, as you can see that I am joining the loop on both sides. So you can see how I join it. I join it on the right side of my main bodice. Okay, and I've already turned this place, so I'm going to open it up like this, then I'll use it to close this up. So you can see how I'm doing that. I'll close it like this. I will pin it up like this. Okay, so I'm basically using the lining to turn the loop. Then I'll pin it down like that. So you make sure that all these points line. Okay. So you make sure all the sizing of the main bodice and the sizing of the lining rhymes. You pin it up like you are seeing. Okay. So after pinning this up, I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it round. But I'll leave an opening of 4 inch here. That is where I'm going to turn it out. So I'll do that and come back to show you guys. Alright. So guys, I've gone to my sewing machine and I have covered the loop I showed you guys. And I've also sewn it round, but I left about 3 inches here. That is where I'm going to turn it out. So I'm going to turn everything out like that. So guys, I have turned this out and this is the opening where I turned it out from. So I'm actually going to go and top stitch. Okay, so I will give it a good press. Okay, you can see how beautiful this is looking. You can actually top stitch on all sides, okay, to keep them in place, but this is optional. Okay, so I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'll close this opening in which I turned this out from. After that, I will give it a good press. Then for the rope, I'm going to also continue my sewing with this elastic as long as it will reach. So this is actually what I'm doing, but you can also use your fabric, but I'm using this for my rope. Alright. So guys, I have gone ahead to iron this very well, and this is actually how beautiful this looks. I'm so excited. I'm very much excited about this tutorial. Like, it's really looking very beautiful. This is the outer part and this is the inner part. So guys, our beautiful corset is ready to be rocked. Thank you guys. If you have any question, kindly drop it on the comment section. I will attend to it. Thank you guys. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly do so. That is the encouragement I get in putting up these lovely videos. Alright guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye.